Not me sitting on the floor in front of a chair. Alright, really quickly before my camera dies and I have no more good lighting. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. We're doing a book haul of pretty much every single book I've bought this year since mid-January. Alright, we're back in business. I'm using my phone to film because I would rather have a little bit of sunlight and not sacrifice the entire... I would rather sacrifice the quality of the video just a little bit than sacrifice the lighting of the whole video. Hope that works for everyone. It's a little bit of a different angle. You can definitely see my shoes here and that's gonna bother me. And now you can't, so win-win. We're doing a book haul. These are all of the books I counted. I think there's 35. I counted quickly, so my math might be off, but there's over 30 for sure. These are the books that I've accumulated since the beginning or the middle of January, end of January. I don't know, it's not good, but it's been like the past 3 months since I have not been posting. Let's just dive right in, shall we? These are in no particular order. I did try to keep series together, but that's about it. You would have seen this in my Powell's like West Coast bookstore shopping vlog. I got The Legacy by Elle Kennedy. This is the like anthology of the off-campus series that she came out with. It's a bunch of short stories and stuff, but it's in the Elle Kennedy imprint edition, which I was very excited to find because you cannot find this anywhere anymore. And that's how I own the rest of Elle Kennedy's books minus, what is it, Misfit, which she published in a shorter edition anyway. But yeah, this is how I own the rest of her books. So I was very excited to find this so that they could all match because otherwise I was just gonna not get a copy. I'm on book 3 in the series, I believe. Yeah, I'm on The Score, but I'm excited to read it and I really enjoyed the first 2 books in the off-campus series a lot. Then I think this was a retail therapy impulse purchase, and that is Secrets So Deep by Ginny Myers Sen. This was on clearance at Target. I heard good things or a lot about her first book, which I can't see. I think it's In These Shallow Waters or something. It takes place in Louisiana. I love a thriller that takes place by the lake. I don't know what it is. I do know what it is. It's because I grew up by a lake. And Dark and Shallow Lies. That's what it's called. It's on the back. Could have just looked there. Who knew? Yeah, I know nothing about this. Alright, so she's trying to solve the murder of her late mother in Connecticut. Cool. This was another impulse purchase, but this was at the airport. I wanted something sad to read, to be honest, and that is Under the Sycamore Tree by B. Celeste. Actually, that's not even true. It wasn't that I wanted something sad. I found out this was sad after I purchased it. It was that I kept seeing it everywhere in the airport. I didn't even get it at the airport. I kept seeing it literally at every airport bookstore, and you know, they're a little selective. So the fact that I had never seen this anywhere and then it was at every airport bookstore, and then when I got home, I saw it while I was grocery shopping and I was like, sure, why not? So I picked it up and then I found out it was incredibly sad, and we know I love self-induced heartache. I seek it out often. It's kind of bad. We're working on it in therapy, don't worry. But yeah, so Macaulay Smelter blobbed it? Nice. Blurbed it. An unforgettable and phenomenal story. If you've been around for a while, you know The Confidence of Wildflowers made me sob. So if Macaulay Smelter is saying that this is sad, count me in. Well, I guess she didn't say it was sad. She said it was unforgettable, but I think her book was unforgettable, so takes one to know one, am I right? Then I got a series. Actually, I got 4 books by the same author, and they're all really dense. Oh my god. I got a series, and then I got the first book in a series. I literally should not be that fatigued from grabbing 4 books. So, the one book that I got at Powell's was The Kingmaker by Kennedy Ryan. This is the first book in the All the King's Men series. I picked this one up because I started her Hoops series. I read Longshot and Block Shot. I found these at Meet Cute, so I picked up these illustrated covers because I thought they were super freaking cute. Like, are you kidding me? Obsessed. Obsessed. I still need to read Hookshot. This one is incredibly dark. Look up content warnings before you go into it. I thought it was just gonna be a fun NBA basketball romance. No. Look up content warnings because holy crap, and it gets graphic. But yeah, I picked these up because I was in the middle of reading the series. I really enjoyed them, and I really like Kennedy Ryan's writing style, so I wanted to pick up this one. That's where I was going with this. I picked this up because I was liking these so much. But yeah, I'd never seen these editions and I wanted to own them physically, so I picked them up. I have no idea what this one's about. I think maybe it's Mafia? Fingers crossed. We know I love Mafia romance. Then the next 2 I picked up when I picked up Secrets So Deep. It was part of my first phase this year of trying to get my life back together and heal my heart that ended up falling through. I promise I really am okay. This year has just been a lot already and it's only April 2nd. So I have good boundaries and goodbyes. I need to start this. By Lisa Turkhurst. I have no idea how to pronounce that. I'm so sorry, Lisa, if that's wrong. But the bottom says, loving others without losing the best of who you are. I feel like my therapist would be really proud of me for picking up a book like this. If only I could read it. I definitely can read it. If only I would read it. But the back says, relationships are wonderful until they're not. Oh my god, this is gonna make me cry on camera. Have you ever thought, I can't keep doing this, something has to change? Yeah, every day for the past 2 months I have. How'd you know, Lisa? Anyway, I picked this one up. I think there was a sale on self-help books at Target, to be honest, so I picked up a couple of them. This one is The Body Keeps the Score. This one my therapist literally has sitting in her office, so I was like, I should read this. She'd be proud of me for picking this up. I never even told her I bought it. But it says Brain, Mind, and Body in the Healing of Trauma. This is by Bessel van der Kolk, who was a doctor. That's what MD means. Desperate times require desperate measures. That they do. I have a lot of trauma. I think a lot of people have a lot of trauma, even if they don't want to acknowledge it as trauma. And I go to a very specific kind of therapy. And so when I saw this at Target and I recognized it from my therapist's office, I felt like it could be good as like talking points if I came in one day without something to talk about, which probably won't ever happen. But on the off chance that it does and life is going my way, which like I could talk about that too, but this also might help me understand my brain a little bit better, and that is the goal. I am trying to heal all of this. Not doing a stellar job, but trying. If I don't laugh, I'll cry, okay? So I just need to continue to make jokes about it. Probably making people so concerned. I really am okay. Anyway, romance. I went into the bookstore one day because I was feeling sad, shocking, retail therapy, and I picked up Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey, which at the time I was like, oh my god, I completely forgot that this came out, but I really like Tessa Bailey. This is about a girl named Hallie who falls for a guy named Julian when she's 14. Something about a winery, and he leaves his Ivy League job on sabbatical. He plans to write a novel. Oh my god, does he want to marry me? Oh, and she's, I think, trying to, I don't know what this one's about. I know there's a winery and he's a very like type A kind of person and she's a little chaotic, but they make it work and I love that. Oh, I'm fine. Speaking of chaos, it's a good thing I make myself laugh. I got an entire other series. This is a cozy mystery series. Got this at Powell's. They were cheaper at Powell's in the physical form than they were on Amazon as Kindle books, ebooks. A Deadly Inside Scoop by Abby Collette. We also have A Game of Cones and A Killer Sunday. I think this is a trilogy. I don't really know, but I got the paperbacks because, like I said, they were less expensive for paperbacks than they were the ebooks, so it just made sense. I love a deal. More mystery for you. Killjoy by Holly Jackson, which is technically 2.5, I believe, in the Good Girls Guide to Murder series. This one takes place at a 1920s fancy dress party where it's like a murder mystery party and Pip is like one of the characters playing. I don't think anyone actually is unalived in this book. Sounds good and it's short and it's a thriller, so could be good for a 24-hour readathon if I decide to do one of those in the near future, which maybe I will. Maybe I will. Then, this is one of my most recent purchases and I'm very excited about it. I have Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. This was everywhere a few months ago. I've heard it pitched as basically like Blair and Chuck from Gossip Girl type of vibe. Very toxic relationship, not healthy at all, lots of cheating. It takes place at like a boarding school in London. These kids are all very pretentious and rich. I do know what the complaints are with like the descriptions and everything, but I skimmed it a little bit and I think it might get a little old, but I also don't really care because I'm so intrigued. And I think book 4 is out now, not 100% sure. I'm obsessed with this cover. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Then I got some more poetry. This is not the only poetry book in this haul, rest assured, but I got Swimming Lessons by Lily Reinhart because my best friend has been telling me to read this for God only knows how long. Literally don't even remember at this point. I didn't know if it was going to be good because I'm always on the fence about celebrity written books. I'm 70 pages into this one and really enjoying it, so I'm feeling good. I have good feelings about this so far. A couple of them have already made me tear up a bit, which is very impressive. I'm really, really liking this. So if you were also in that same situation, because I feel like a lot of people share that sentiment, I would say pick this one up. I really like it so far. Another series, and it's romance. Is anyone surprised? No. I have the entire Dreamland Billionaires series trilogy. So the fine print, which I have an entire video dedicated to. I will have it linked below, as well as the video Stasia did for the book that I picked out for her. I'm really proud of that video. It was also just a super fun experience, and I loved this book. This book is following Rowan and Zara. Kind of takes place at like a Disney-like theme park. It's this world's version of Disney, and Zara ends up pitching an idea and has to work closely with Rowan, but it's a hate-to-love workplace romance. It's my favorite book that I've read so far this year. So you know I had to pick up Terms and Conditions and The Final Offer, which is following the other two brothers in that world, I guess. So this one's following Declan and this one is following Callahan. Have not read these yet, but I am very, very excited to. I've heard that Terms and Conditions is somehow better than the fine print, and I think The Final Offer is like on the same level, so I have high expectations. Lauren Asher, though, knows how to write banter, and that is the way to my heart. Then I have some manga, surprisingly. I picked up Tombs by Junji Ito. I didn't know that he was coming out with another one. I have no idea what this is about. It's just another like short story collection that he came out with, but it is maybe my favorite cover of all of the ones that he's come out with. I just think that this is so cool. And I feel like it's been a while since he's come out with like a short story collection. Well, I guess Deserter came out a couple of years ago. It wasn't that long ago. I bought it. It's here. I have some fantasy. Can you believe that? Because I can't. I have a big fantasy book too that I've never heard of. I don't know who I think I am, but I'm here. I told you I haven't been feeling like myself. The First Binding by R.R. Virdi. I can barely hold it in my hand. My hand is cramping. It's not. I'm just being a baby. This is a South Asian inspired fantasy. The last line in the synopsis in the inside flap says, "And this is the story of how I let loose the first evil." And that was enough to lure me in to buy the book. It's a $30 book, and that one line sold me. Plus, on the cover, it says, "Every great story begins with a lie." This is supposed to be an epic fantasy series. How long is this book? I didn't even check the page count. But it had like 3.7 average star rating on Goodreads. So, 800 pages. I picked up an 800-page book on a whim. That's cute. Then another incredibly long book that I somehow think I'm going to have the time to read is Chain of Thorns by Cassandra Clare. This is the third book in the Last Hours trilogy. Have I read the first two? No. Have I read The Infernal Devices? Also no. Have I finished The Mortal Instruments? Yet again, no. Still bought this on release day. I can't be helped, to be honest with you. Just give up. Just give up now. And we have more romance. For all the TikTok girlies, I have Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I have been wanting to read this. I think since it came out. I saw people posting about it pretty quickly and it sounds really interesting. I've also heard it's surprisingly smutty. It is a college romance following Anastasia and Nate Hawkins. He is the captain of the hockey team and they end up having to share an ice rink. She needs a partner for skating and so he volunteers to do that. I don't really know why. I think they're forced to team up together maybe. But yeah, I'm excited. Then I just been in the mood for workplace romances and this one sounds incredibly interesting and that is By a Thread by Lucy Score. It says, "I got her fired." Okay. So I'd had a bad day and I took it out on a bystander in a pizza shop, but there's nothing demure about Allie Morales. She proves that on the first day of her new job, which just happens to be in my office, and I can't fire her because it's my mother, the CEO, who hired her. So maybe her colorful, annoying, inexplicably alluring personality brightens up the magazine's offices that have felt like a prison for the past year. Maybe I like that she argues with me in front of the editorial staff, and maybe my after-hours fantasies are haunted by those brown eyes and that sharp tongue. She's working herself to death at half a dozen dead-end jobs for some secret reason she doesn't feel like sharing with me, and I'm going to fix it all. Don't accuse me of caring. She's nothing more than a puzzle to be solved. If I can get her to quit working here, I can finally peel away all those layers. Then I can forget all about the dancing, beer-slinging brunette. And then it says, "Allie, just one line." Ha. Hold my beer, charming. I love a hate to love. I love an office romance. Then I picked up A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime by Monica Murphy, which is the sequel to... What book was I reading that I haven't finished yet? I'll pop a picture up of the cover here. But I was in the middle of that one and decided to pick up this one. I've heard so many things about this book. It's a Lancaster prep. Things I wanted to say but never did. I think these might be like standalone, not standalone, but companion novels. Dear God, that took a second. Yeah, this is following Ren Beaumont. Don't know anything about her. She hasn't come up in the first book, or if she has, I haven't been paying attention to her, but I'm excited. I've heard good things about it, and again, everyone on Book Talk would be pleased, I feel like. Then I picked up Radiant Sin by Katie Robert because I am a Katie Robert stan. I read Neon Gods a while ago and really enjoyed it. I haven't picked up anything in the series since, but I am still buying the books because that makes sense. I do love Katie Robert though, and so I will support her and buy all of the books by her. This one is an Apollo and Cassandra reimagining. 3 more poetry books. I have Golden by Wilder. Gonna be honest, you can skip this one. It was pretty mid. Then I have Chameleon Aura by Billy Chapata. Have not read this one yet, but he wrote my absolute favorite poetry book, Velvet Dragonflies, so I needed to pick up more of his work. And then I picked up Her Volume 3 because when I read Her Volume 1, it was my favorite poetry book of all time. This was fine. This is not a wrap-up, but I did end up giving this 3 stars for Volume 3. It was fine. Some of the poems I liked, but it's definitely not a new favorite or anything. And I feel like if you found it at a library, maybe read it that way, but it wasn't my favorite. Then I picked up It's Not Summer Without You by Jenny Han in the Amazon Prime tie-in edition, the TV show tie-in edition. I want to do a dedicated reading vlog for this one and reacting to season 2 of the show like I did for the first one, even though that video, the last 10 minutes of the audio weren't there, so I need to re-edit it. But I figured I can re-edit that one and post it just before this one comes out so they can kind of go back to back. Let me know if that sounds good to you. But this is the second book in the Summer I Turned Pretty series, and I loved the TV show. Hopefully this book doesn't disappoint me, but we'll see. Only time will tell. But I read the first book in like one night or something like that. Then more mafia romance because I need to stay true to myself, and I have Arrows and Apologies by Sav R. Miller. This is the 4th book in the Monsters and Muses series. I read Promises and Pomegranates in January. I finished it and I really loved it, and I started Vipers and Virtuosos a little bit ago. I didn't get very far, but these are all Greek myth reimagining set is like mafia romances, so how could I say no? I'm not one to say no to that, okay? They're also very, very dark, so look up content warnings. They get pretty spicy, so if that's not really your thing, I would skip them, but I really like them, or at least the first one. Then I have 2 Sophie Lark books. So I have Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark. I have already read this one, and again, I saw this at Barnes & Noble, so I wanted to collect these editions because I think they're beautiful. These ones have illustrations in them. That one is not showing out to the world. Like, are you kidding? Are you kidding me? Beautiful. This is the first book in the Brutal Birthright series. We are following Callum and Ada. It's enemies to lovers, arranged marriage, mafia romance, rival mafia families, hate to love, all of the things. It's incredible. It's such a good first book in a series. It's one of my favorite books in the series. I think it's my second favorite book in the series, to be honest with you. I freaking love this series as a whole too. Like, it's just so good. In her spin-off series, I have The Rebel by Sophie Lark, obviously. This is book 2 in the Kingmaker series. I do have a copy of The Heir, which I already hauled. And again, these are the discreet editions. So nobody knows you're reading smut in public. It's great. This one, I don't know who it's about. I think this one's following Kat, Zoe, and, oh, is it Miles? If it's Miles, I'll scream. It's Miles! This is following the children of the Brutal Birthright series at a mafia boarding school that is like very remote, very secluded. No cell phones, can't talk to your family for a year, can't go home, can't leave the island. It's crazy. And they're being trained in like specific roles within the mafia world. So there are heirs, spies, enforcers, I think, and something else. But yeah, this one is Miles. Oh, I'm so excited because we've already met Miles in book 1 and I'm obsessed with him. I would date Miles. I shouldn't, but he's the guy I would go for. I bought Orochi by Kazuo Omez. This is volume 3 in the perfect editions. I still need to read volume 2, but I like to save manga, specifically horror manga, for 24-hour readathons and like reading sprints and stuff because I can just get through them so quickly and it makes me look better in my brain. And then the last book that we have in this haul, Age of Vice by Deepti Kapoor. This is the last book of the month book that I got. I need to start getting back to book of the month because I haven't used my subscription in such a long time. But this says, this is the Age of Vice where pleasure and power are everything and the family ties that bind can also kill. Oh yeah, I think this is like a law murder mystery set in perspective in contemporary India. Deftly shifting through time and perspective in contemporary India, Age of Vice is an epic action-packed story propelled by the seductive wealth, startling corruption, and bloodthirsty violence of the Wadia family. Loved by some, loathed by others, feared by all. Sounds so good. I remember reading the blurb and being like, okay, yeah, that sounds really, really interesting. So that is it for this book haul. Those are, I think, the 35-ish books that I've purchased since about mid-January since I have been gone. I'll probably pick up my book buying habit again since I am hoping to get back to reading again. But this video was really fun to film and just talk about books and be a little bit rambly. I haven't done that in a really long time, so thank you for giving me the space and freedom to do so. I love you all so much. I hope you're doing well, reading, mentally, and otherwise. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I really hope to see you all in my next one very, very soon. Bye, guys.